This is the drive home with TT for the Millwall drive home, driving home from the John Smith Stadium, where it finished. Huddersfield Town 1, Millwall 1. And to be fair, we're lucky to be driving away with a point. And I can't imagine anyone would say anything to say anything different. We started off in goal with Bartosz Biliakowski. At right back we had Romeo, left back we had Shane Ferguson, centre-back pairing of Alex Pearce and Jake Cooper. Right midfield and left midfield swapped a lot, Connor Mahoney and Jed Wallace. In the centre of midfield we had Sean Williams and Ryan Leonard, and up front we had Aidan O'Brien partnering Matt Smith. I've got to be honest, it's difficult supporting Mill at the moment. We're not very nice to watch. A game where we're playing against a team that haven't won on a Saturday since those three behind me weren't born, and yet we don't really look like winning the game at any stage. Maybe just before Ferguson gets sent off, we start to put a bit of pressure on, but fundamentally we do not create enough chances. Attacking wise, we don't look good enough to break teams down, even when, because let's make no bones about it, Huddersfield outplayed us today, and they are, you could see the lack of confidence throughout their team, and they really did struggle to get anything going. Even when we went down to 10 men, you could see that they're, like I said, they're a team bereft of confidence, and there's no doubting today we got lucky. You know, things went our way for a change, and there's very, very few times we can say that. I'll start with Bart in goal. He didn't really have anything to do, and again, for all of Huddersfield's possession that they had, and you know, when they did get in and around our box, they didn't really create too many chances themselves, and that's something that they're going to be disappointed about. I can't remember Bart having to make a really good stop. Might have had a couple that have come to him, but I can't really remember him having to make a great save. The goal, there's absolutely nothing to do about it, and that, to be fair, their goal was the one real bit of quality throughout the match. They attacked with pace down our right side, their left side. My only disappointment is that they don't. No one makes a tackle. No one puts a foot in to stop them. Like I said, it is well worked. Comes through to Fraser Campbell, and Campbell's composed and tucks it into the bottom left corner for us and bottom right corner for him. I would say at that stage, I did think it was slightly against the run of play. I didn't think we deserved to be behind, but also we didn't deserve to be ahead neither. It was a game of, it's going to sound really stupid, but it was a game of a midfield battle where there was no midfield. It seemed to be an either end, but not in the attacking third. Both teams just did not seem to be able to break the other team down, and the only time either team looked penetrating at all is when they had one of their wingers, whether it was Jed for us or Mahoney or one of their fellas on the wing. No one looked like really creating too many chances. I'll go to Romeo at right up, sorry, with Bart, I didn't score him, so I'll give him a 7, even though he didn't have too much to do. What he did do, he done all right. Right back was Marlon Romeo. I thought Marlon had a good game. You know, he's put under a lot of pressure, but the goal does come from his side. I don't think there's too much he can do about it. He got a bang to the head during that play, continued on and looked solid, I thought. So I'll give Romeo a 7. Left back, Shane Ferguson. Now, Shane obviously got sent off in the second half. 2 fully deserved bookings, no doubt about that. You know, the first one he has to take, and he just takes the player out as he runs past him. And then the second one, just outside the box, he does go to win the ball, but he doesn't get it. Takes the player out, and you know, you can't say it's a stupid challenge, because again, he's had to make that challenge, and he deservedly goes. I think the one big problem with, I don't think that happens on Marlon's side, but it happens on Shane's side, and he was getting run ragged down that wing in the second half when the player decided to run on it, because he hasn't got a pace. And that exposed. So I'll give Ferguson a 6. No, I'll give him a 7 for the fact that he got 2 yellow cards where, you know, if he let them go there, we could have potentially a lot more trouble. So I'll give him a 7 for that reason. But it highlights our back two there, that, you know, both Cooper and Pearce, they haven't got much pace either, and Cooper really struggled for pace today when they run at us. Completely on the flip side to what we attack in an attacking sense, we just have absolutely no pace. We have no one to really trouble teams in and behind, but we got occasionally troubled in behind today, and like I said, but for a few last-ditch challenges, there potentially could have been more chances. Balls into the box, you know, Pearce, Cooper deal with it all day, and occasionally they've done that. I think they tried to stop doing that. There was a couple of blocks from both of them, and they did what they needed to do. So both of them I'll give a 7, because I can't really criticise any of the defence. To be honest, I thought both wingers for us, Jed Wallace and Connor Mahoney, tried. They attempted to run. They attempted to run on the ball. But again, in product and getting to the actual byline and cutting it back, we didn't do enough today. We did it on occasions. But like I said, we just don't create anything, and we're so predictable that teams know exactly what we're going to do and can defend against us that way. I thought Jed, certainly second half, tried, when the ball's at his feet, he's running direct. But the passing quality from every player, to be honest, every player today, it's just not good enough, and we're going to struggle to pick up points no matter where it is if we continue to pass the ball like we did, or lack the ideas that we seem to lack. And I'll give Jed a 7, and I'll give Ferguson, sorry, not Ferguson, I'll give Mahoney a 6. Centre midfield pairing, I'll go to the positive. Now, I know he's not very well liked in Ryan Leonard, and I know people comment on about how much Neil Harris likes him or they're friends, but today I thought he was my man of the match, just purely because he broke up a lot of play in the midfield. He was on the edge of the box and did put pressure on when he was there. He was on the edge of their box a couple of times, in terms of he had a couple of decent shots, and the corner that we eventually do score from comes from a blinding shot from him from about 30 yards out that the keeper does well to tip over the bar. And I felt that he done everything he possibly could do to get himself in the game. I thought he tried to pass forward, and you know, I'm not giving him no more than a 7.5, because no one really deserves any more than a 7.5, but he does certainly deserve, in my opinion, the man of the match. And I know that's not going to be a very popular thing, because people don't see what he brings to the team, but for me, I thought that he made a difference in our midfield, and certainly tried to get on the ball and run with it on occasions, and tried to pass the ball forward. And then we go to Sean Williams. Now, I don't, certain fans, and they'll always have a player that they look to, and maybe Sean Williams is my player that I criticise a little bit too much unnecessarily, but he just seems to me so negative in his passing, and gives the ball away. For someone that's so lethargic and so relaxed on the ball, so many times he misplaces a pass. And then when you add to that, this is what really frustrates me. He made a couple of challenges, but he seems to be half a second or a second too late for a challenge. And when you compare it to the other midfielders in Thompson and even Leonard's, you've got to do something. And he didn't pick up a booking today, Williams, and he should have done, because he should have brought someone down. If you're going to get there late, you can't just let him run past you, and far too often he did that. And like I said, I've got nothing against Sean Williams as a person. I've met him a couple of times, and he's a cracking dad, but in the team at the moment, he just seems off the pace, and I think he's a liability, and that's my opinion, and it's going to do a bit to change that. So I can give Sean Williams no more than a 6. We'll move to our strike partnership of Matt Smith and Aidan O'Brien. Today I can't really. Aidan O'Brien done more when he come off the pitch and got the crowd involved, and took a load of abuse when he got subbed off than he did during the game. He just really was ineffective, because he's got no pace. So you've got the big fella up front in Matt Smith, who's trying to win flick-ons, although he didn't win many. I thought he tried to get himself about Aidan. He tried to put himself in the right position, but he pulls out of challenges that you just think don't pull out of challenges. Put yourself in there. It might fire you up, get yourself into the game, but far too often he's just completely anonymous and doesn't look like. Again, I'll compare it to most of the team. They just don't look like we're going to create anything, and for that reason, I'm not sure. This obviously Harris makes the decisions, but I don't know how that Tom Bradshaw is not starting over anybody, because Bradshaw looks lively, and he looked lively when he came on. I'll give Aidan O'Brien a 5, and then I move to his strike partner, Matt Smith. Matt Smith seems to be at the right place at the right time and scores goals. And again, I don't think he done very much other than score the goals. It was, we play up front. We know what, everyone knows what we're going to do. We're going to play a long diagonal ball from Cooper, and far too often we're playing it up front to Matt Smith. I think he maybe won 30% of his headers today, which is not good enough to continue playing that same way. So he struggled today, and if he's not in a game, it's very reminiscent of Stevie Morrison, that if they're not in the game, then the team are struggling to play football, and that stems from the manager maybe trying to change it up a little bit, because it hasn't been good enough. I'll give Matt Smith a 6 because he scored a goal. I'll move on to ref watch, Jeremy Simpson. Now, you know how long and how often I've done the drive home. Jeremy Simpson absolutely saved us today. I can't, for the first time in an awful long time, Huddersfield were singing "We always get crap refs," and well, they probably said something else, but there was, for the goal that we scored, it's not a foul. You know, the keeper's gone for the ball. Our players stood there. The keeper's tried to catch it. He hasn't caught it. He's got to roll through the player. He's dropped it, and Smith's tapped it in. So that wasn't a foul, and they booed him off at half time. And I didn't think the ref had a bad first half, but second half, I definitely felt that they had. It's hard on the other end of the pitch, but it seemed too nailed on penalties for them to have. There was a lot of 50-50s throughout the game, but you know, we're lucky that one of them isn't given, especially considering what we normally get. You know, the amount of times Reading away last season's a perfect one that comes to mind, where it's never a penalty and it's given against us. Well, today I think we got the rub of the green without a doubt. And like I said, coming out of the ground, I just heard a load of Huddersfield fans complaining about the ref, which bad luck to them, but we have plenty of them. So the fact that it actually went for us today, I've got no complaints about the ref. We got lucky. Obviously, we now move on to Luton on Wednesday night, which is massive. I can't say enough. Like I said, I probably sound a little bit downbeat. The one thing that's great about supporting us is the fans. You know, you go out, you talk to so many people, and I've had good chats with people, and I would say that I think the feeling around the club at the moment is that Harris is under a little bit of pressure. There is absolutely no doubt about that there's a lot of negative comments towards Neil, and more than normal, and obviously results turn that around, and it's all well and good the club or Neil or other people saying like shut up and be positive, but it is difficult to be positive when we don't look positive. That's what I would say. I think it's easy for fans to be positive regardless of results if we look like we're going to get one, and then it makes it so much easier because you feel like the boys are trying to turn it around. There's no lack of effort in this Millwall side. You know, very, very infrequently do we look like we don't put in a shift. That is not for question. That is never. Neil Harris has never set out. Well, very rarely has he sent out a Millwall team that have not put in a shift for the shirt. But creatively wise and attacking wise, we just don't do enough, and eventually that's going to affect us. We can't keep waiting for a mistake to happen. Zach, who's your man of the match?
It would be either Conor Mahoney or Wallace, but I need to add in an extra thing.
Go on.
Because like our under 9, is it under 9? Yeah, under 9 at the moment.
Yeah.
We're attacking, so we probably need to put some of our players in.
What, should I put all three of you in? Should I put all three of you in instead? If I see Neil, I'll maybe put it in. And yeah, we don't play long ball either, do we? We play out from the back. Alfie, who was your man of the match?
My man of the match was Jed Wallace.
Jed Wallace. Jace, who was your man of the match?
Jed Wallace.
Jed Wallace. So Jed got quite a few votes from the Thomas family, as well as a couple of the Lions. Like I said, it's difficult at the moment to support Millwall. Boys, what did you think of the atmosphere?
It was really good. I think at the start it was good.
Yeah.
But at the end it was dying down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was for the whole match it kind of
Kept going.
Yeah, it kept going and it was loud. It was kind of a mix-up.
Was it, Jace? Yeah. What? The one thing I say is, do you feel like coming to Millwall is worthwhile?
Yes.
And we can ask for no more than that. Like I said, the fact that these three boys and Layla next to me, we've travelled, what, 4.5 hours, we've still got 3 hours left of this drive. That's what it's about. That's what makes the club, and you know, we all get to see football, and no matter what happens on the pitch, we're going to keep going. Me and Layla are going on Wednesday night to Luton. Obviously it's a school night for the boys behind, so they won't be coming. And then we'll go again against Leeds on Saturday, and I think that we've got to get a win out of these two. We've got to get at least one win out of the next 2 games, otherwise, you know, I don't think I'm ever going to be in the Harris out. Harris has earned the right in my mind to choose when he goes. But I've got a lot of respect for him, but it doesn't matter what I think, and it doesn't matter what happens, because if he's not got the fans on his side, it's very difficult for any manager in any league to continue in the role. And I hope more than anything that we can start turning results around, and we start playing some attacking football to really put our, you know, the Millwall philosophy is to go at teams, and to not allow them to play football and not allow them to do what they want, and we need to do that to turn this around. Thank you for watching. By the way, I normally get up to 3,000 people watching my thing. I've got 1,300 subscribers. We need to get that up. So if you watch my channel regularly and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Put what you want in the comments. Like I said, I'm defending Neil Harris as a man more than a manager at the moment, because I've got a lot of time and respect for him as a person. But we need to start playing some attacking football, and we certainly need to start picking up some results, and we need, more than anything, to win a game away from home, and hopefully Wednesday will be the first one. Thank you for watching. Like the video. We had over 200 likes again on the last one. I appreciate your support. Come on, you Lions.